Hey guys, this is Mike Volkin. Welcome to another Freelancer Masterclass video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for awesome freelancer content. Thumbs up. All right, we are at Upwork.com's homepage. As you will notice, that's me on the platform. That's me on the homepage. So how did I do that? Well, I got some attention from Upwork. There are hundreds of thousands of freelancers on Upwork, and for some reason, I'm on the homepage. Well, I think I know why. Because I've been doing a lot of testing on Upwork, a lot of testing on what makes me successful, what makes freelancers successful. And I want to share some of those successes with you today. Some of my tips, tricks, and tactics. Maybe you'll get on the homepage too someday. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you to my profile and walk you through other couple key things that I think will really help you on Upwork. And the first thing I want to talk to you about, and here we're at the homepage when you first log in. Your feed. Your feed is important, and you can see a bunch of saved searches over here. I just kind of fool around with various searches, not only for me, but for other people in my masterclass. I kind of walk them through a couple things. So maybe some of these aren't 100% targeted towards me, but they'll give you a good idea of what you should be targeting. So what I want you to do, and some of this may seem basic to you if you're already on Upwork, but I'm going to show you some tips here. I want you to go to the advanced search under the search for jobs here. And then I want you to make a list, and don't make it here. Make it like on a Word document. Make a list of all the keywords of your best skill sets. These are skill sets where you really feel that you could service your clients the best. This are your primary skill sets, and you can do secondary skill sets later. Those are the ones that come in after the primary. So if you're really good at, let's say you're a designer, you're really good at logo design, you're really good at trade show design, whatever. You'll put in logo and trade shows. And what the key here, what you can really do to find targeted jobs is use Boolean search phrases. Upwork accepts Boolean phrases. And what I mean by Boolean, and that's spelled B-O-O-L-E-A-N, it's a way to search with certain criteria. So let's just say you're a designer that wants to do trade show design. You can look for jobs with the exact phrase, trade show designer. You can also do a search for trade show design. Okay? Or even trade show designing. It doesn't matter. There's no limit to how many searches you can have. You can even do, for people that would misspell it, trade show designing, designer, all those things. So you want to do all those different variations. So in my case, when I do a search, I'm doing CMO because I'm a chief marketing officer, or I'll do chief marketing officer, right? This is under the exact phrase. Or I'll even do this because this is a common misspelling. Chief marketing officer. Okay. I've actually gotten a job off of somebody that misspelled it like that, and I got the alert because of that. So you want to use the exact phrase box. Okay. And what I mean by Boolean searches, it's the same thing if you were to go up here that says all of these words, and you were to go you'd say chief marketing officer. This, if you put it in quotes, that use the exact search phrase. Okay. Now, if you wanted to subtract a word, like if I don't want to do some B2B work, then I'll just put a dash sign and then B2B, right? Not dash space, it's just dash B2B. All right, so if you want to know more about Boolean searches, just go to Google and type in Boolean search phrases and just look at what the whatever blog you're looking at recommends, but then you can incorporate those in here. Really, you can build up your entire feed database with exact phrases though. Once you have your skills list, you can build up all of your list, and then you can see up here on the left-hand side, all of them. So how do you get alerted? Rather than having to log in here 20 times a day to see what the latest job postings are, how do you get those opportunities to come to you? Well, this is what you can do. You click on the RSS feed. So here's the feed, right? And this is US only feed. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and I'm going to click RSS. Now this basically shows, sorry, I had to refresh my page there. I just took a little pause. What you want to do is you want to click my feed, not the US only. You want to click my feed, and then click these three dots and hit the RSS feed button. Now, what you want to do is just copy this right here. Just go to, if you're on a PC, Control A, which copies all of it, and then Control C. If you're on a Mac, it's Command A and Command C. And then go over to a site like Blogtrotter, and there's lots of sites that'll do this, but I like Blogtrotter because it's super easy. Blogtrottr.com. I don't get any money for referring them to you, but and then what you want to do is just subscribe to a new feed. Okay, So then you just pop that in there. Now, if the feed is really long, all right, you might get an error message. And you could just check how often you want the feed. Usually I do 4-hour daily digest. But if you're just starting and you're really hungry for work, 2 hours or even real time. If you do real time, your inbox is going to fill up. But you can even set up a separate folder for just incoming emails from Blogtrotter. Okay, I think it's actually called BusyBee or busybee.com or something, where the emails come in from BusyBee. But anyway, you'll know when you first get your email, you just put in a filter and have that filter go into a new folder in your inbox. But sometimes you might get an error message from Blogtrotter saying that they can't accept this RSS feed. So in order to work around that, I just go to bit.ly. It's a URL shortener. Google has them too. God, can't type today. Then what you do is you type in that RSS feed. So you hit create. See how I've already done it here. But it says paste long URL. Okay. Then you just hit, and then it gives you automatically, you don't have to hit anything. It gives you that URL, right? So you just copy it right here, copy, and then you put that in this place. So you delete it. Okay, then it will work. Then your RSS feed will work. Blogtrotter doesn't like long RSS URLs. It has to be short ones. So that's the way that you can get that to work. All right, so let's go back to Upwork. So now that you've built your keyword list, you have all these targeted jobs coming to you. Let me talk to you about how to find jobs that you would actually be interested in, that would actually be good candidates and not time wasters. All right. So I'll show you the way I evaluate clients, okay? Or I would say prospects. So not a client until you sign with them. But a prospect is, let's just take one of these random jobs that posted up in my feed, right? So what I like to do is I like to look on the right, and I look for a few things. Number one, if they're in the country that I serve the best customers in, which is my country, US. And then I look at how many jobs they have and their hiring rate percentage. This is very important. Now, this is very, very poor for this person, this particular company. They have 19 jobs posted, but they only hired 11%. Now that you pay for connects, okay? So it's going to cost you $1 or so and maybe 90 cents to apply for a job, something like this. This person has 6 open jobs, but their chances of hiring someone is 11%. That's pretty much for every 10 jobs they post, they're going to hire one person. That's not very good. So it might be a waste for you to apply. But also look at this, though. This is weird. $300 average hourly rate. Now, they only paid 3 hours for this person, but they paid $300 for it. It might be an attorney. I don't know what the situation is. It's really weird. This is a weird situation where they don't hire that much, but they pay a lot. So consider that as well. Let's do another one here. Just to let's get one that's hopefully kind of average. Okay, so here's one. Here's a great one right here. Perfect. 3 jobs posted, and they hire 67% of the time. That's good. You want to look for something over 50%. All right. So the only thing here is this company doesn't pay that much. So they spend about $200 on Upwork, right? And the average hourly rate is $24.75. That's something I look at too, because my hourly rate is over $200. And if I'm looking at the average hourly rate of a client that usually pays about $25, they're probably not going to be hiring somebody like me, right? So I won't even waste my time sending in a proposal. So that's the way I evaluate if I should look right away before I even read the job description. I look at that kind of stuff. Okay. I also look at who they're willing to hire. And if it's anything less than an expert, I'm not going to apply for it because I'm an expert. But if you're an intermediate, and if you're a beginner, for example, and it says expert, then you might want to be careful because they probably need someone who's highly specialized and not just starting out, and vice versa. If you're an expert and they put beginner, they're not looking for someone like you. Okay. So now that we know what jobs we want to go after, how to get them in our inbox, how to evaluate if a job might be good for us, let's talk about how to get found on Upwork. This is kind of where I think my strength is because I've done a lot of testing on this. So I want you to go back into your profile. All right. That's not it. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. So you want to click settings, and then it's always going to ask you to enter your password whenever you enter your settings. Now you're going to go to profile. Now you can always view the profile as others would see it right here in this right, which is good. But the main thing is you want to make sure that your profile is 100% complete. Make sure everything is filled out. And now Upwork has this really powerful, actually 2 new powerful additions where you can post popular projects. and you can make different variations of your profile. So I have one for general, I have a marketing automation one, and I have a marketing strategy one. I suggest you do one for each of the keywords that you just put into the job search, which I found earlier, which I showed you earlier, I mean. So now whenever you send a proposal, you can post that particular profile and it's super hyper targeted, okay? So first things first, other than your profile being 100% complete, you have to have a good picture, have to. All right, so what's a good picture? You have a little bit of headspace, not much up on top, okay? You have a good smile, but not a freaky smile, all right? You don't look like you're stalking through somebody's window. You're like, okay? You just, you look at a little grin, what's up, all right? So, and you're obviously well-dressed and it's a clear background, not too busy, all right? And if it is too busy, just use Photoshop and blur it out a little bit. But you want to be at the forefront. You want to be at a good angle, and your head has to be at an angle too. Being like this, not good. Being too close like this, not good. Being too far away, not good. See how in this picture here, actually Upwork took this picture at their studios. I do not work for Upwork. I do not get paid for this. But I am on the homepage of Upwork. They wanted to take pictures of me. So they called me down to their office and they hired a photographer. This is literally the picture that they took. They know what makes for a good picture. And I'm telling you, all right. They picked out the suit for me. You see that? I didn't get to keep the suit. But you see it's a trendy suit. It's a solid background or nearly solid, couple colors. The body, see how the picture is cut off right at the shoulder level from the sides. Okay, there's not too much width, and then not too much head space. Good head nod, nice grin. Moving on. That's a good picture. All right, you don't have other people in the picture. You don't have a busy background. All right, what I want you to do is be sure to change your profile often. Okay, keep an eye on it. There's a lot of outdated profiles on there, and what I mean by changing your profile often is test your titles. Test other things. Test a video. I'm about to change my video. It's a few months old. But you want to test, because everything has to do with your ability to get invited. Because once you get invited to a job, your ability to get that job skyrockets. In fact, let me pause this video real quick. All right, I wanted to log into my inbox here. Look what happens when you have a really well-optimized profile. You get invited to interviews. I mean, I get dozens and dozens of them all the time. Look at all these. It just says many because there's thousands of them. Every day I get invited to interviews. And these are the ones, and I've tested this, you'll close them at least 30% higher than normal ones, okay? Invitation interview, invitation interview, invitation interview. They're everywhere, okay? Pages and pages of them, right? So I want you guys to get like that as well, all right? And the way you can do that is look at this. I'm testing this in the title. Works on invite only. So I know the average amount of invites I get per month now because I've been doing this for longer than a year. And now I'm testing whether if I put this in the title, if I get more invites by putting that in the title. And the data is in India. I still got like 4 or 5 more days to go. But right now it's better. It's about 4 to 8% better. It looks like the way it's going to shake out. So I would consider putting that maybe in your title if you don't want to be too restrictive. And believe me, I wouldn't do this if I wasn't full on clients. Okay, right now I'm full on clients. I'm usually full on clients. God bless. But if you're a beginner or intermediate, I wouldn't test that. I test something else. You want a really compelling title. Okay, so. So I have the first thing, please note you must invite me to your job. So I'm not bidding on any projects this month, invite only, okay? So what you want to do is also separate out with, I find this very effective, separate this out with the vertical lines and then the asterisks. And just, it's kind of like your bullet point version of what you're really great at. If you were to sum yourself up, your work skills up in anywhere from 4 to 7 skill sets, like that's what you would call out on the top and chunk it out. So it's there's at least 1 line space from the next paragraph, because this is what people are going to read first, and then people are going to continually drop off as they have to click the more button, and they may not do that, but they'll definitely see this top part, right? Okay. So also what I do is that's very effective is I put testimonials throughout, and I'll separate them with line breaks. I find that works very well. Okay. By the way, if I didn't mention it, always have a video. Always have a video. That helps your Upwork ranking. Okay. Think about it from Upwork's perspective. They want to deliver to clients, prospects, to job posters, people's profiles who are actually filled out. Okay. It's not hard to make a video. So grab your webcam, make a video, have some bullet points. Don't ramble. I've seen some boring videos. Just have some bullet points on what you want to say. Introduce yourself, and then talk about what you really like to do, your passion, and then talk about what type of clients you like to work with. And that's your video. It doesn't have to be too long. All right. So again, I sprinkle testimonials throughout. And then what I do is I always chunk it out. I mean, I'm a neuromarketer, so I know what people read and how they react to things, right? That's what the study of neuromarketing is. So one of the things you should know is that people read bullet points way more than they read paragraph text. So look at all these different strategies. I have a plus sign, and then I have a sentence. Okay. I have a couple dashes, then I have a sentence. So it's kind of like breaking it out and making it different. Okay. Hopefully someday, I've told Upwork this, maybe there'll be HTML. They'll allow that in there. But right now you're working with what you have, right? So these are a bunch of hashtags dash lines of what my top skill sets are. And then I put some more testimonials in here, right? Then I have the video, okay? It's very important to put popular projects. It is unclear as to how that is affecting the Upwork algorithm. I'm still just starting to test that since this is a really new feature. It's less than a month old. But you definitely want to have, a big portfolio. Fill it up. Even if you're new, do what you can. And if you did anything in school or something, you want to put video testimonials in there. You want to put logos, whatever, if you're a designer. Any kind of medals. I have an Army Commendation Medal that I received. I got some TV press for a client of mine. They got on Steve Harvey's Thunderdome. So you just fill up everything you possibly can in your profile, and you want to put all your skills down here because that helps your searchability. Okay. I don't have any certifications, so I didn't display them. Technically I do, but I didn't get any kind of diploma or certificate. It's just an online thing. So, but then also always fill out your employment history. I hire a lot of freelancers, and I look at the employment history. I want to see if what they're saying at the top correlates to what their actual skill sets are. Okay. Education, I see that not filled out so many times. You want to fill that out. And it's more than just filling out the school you went to. Talk about what you did. Okay. Okay. So one more thing I want to talk about before I let you go here. Okay. What you want to do is go to Find Work and then My Stats. Okay. Now, these are some key stats, and this will really help you understand how well you're being found on Upwork. Actually, I do want to give another tip after this. This is not the last tip. But communication is very important because, again, think about it from Upwork's point of view. They don't want to deliver freelancers to job posters from people that aren't going to reply or people that don't log in. So you want to make sure your response time is awesome. You want to make sure that your marketing effectiveness is very good. So always check in these stats. And there's the way you can do it, you can just bookmark this. It's just upwork.com/mystats. All right. I want you to do a little trick here in terms of how to find clients, how to find freelancers rather, that are competing with you and might beat you in the search engine. So what I want you to do is pick up a client account because you might need to hire a freelancer here and there. So get a client account and then search where it says find freelancers. Type in one of your keywords. Like for me, it'll be marketing strategy. Actually, let's do a fractional CMO since that's one of the ones I'm going after. I'm going to build my rank for fractional CMO. So let's see where I'm at. So what you want to do is look at who's beating you. And then, so for example, you could see some of their titles and use them for inspiration. Okay. Now, fractional CMO, I used to be at the top and I'm way down now because I took it out of my title. But all these guys have it in your title. See how important a title is? All right. Remote CMO, fractional CMO, those are all the same thing. So you click on one of their, the top performing profiles and you figure out why they're, top performing. So you see it says CMO here, fractional CMO. You look at their keyword density, you see how many times they're mentioned, and then you get inspiration. Basically, don't copy their profile, but get inspiration from them. So if you see that they have a really good sentence that you can incorporate in yours, just make it your own. Copy it, paste it, and then just change it up and make it your own. Okay. So I hope these tips helped you in terms of dominating Upwork and getting started on Upwork, and then hopefully making Upwork a full-time job for you as a freelancer, because there's certainly a lot of jobs available on Upwork. Good luck.